Greetings, evidence enthusiasts. Welcome to SerpentZA's Greatest Hits Volume 1. A friend of mine recently suggested that I owe Winston Sterzel a little something for the low-hanging fruit that he provides. My friend suggested an order of Xiaolong Bao, which I don't doubt that Winston would like, but that's logistically impossible from here. As a gift to Winston Frederick Sterzel, I decided to put together this in the first in the series of Greatest Hits of Winston Frederick Sterzel. Someday, Winston Sterzel might want to prepare some popcorn, and sit down with his daughter to show her the kind of thing that he's been working on. My Greatest Hits series will allow Winston to find compilations of his work to show to his daughter without having to go through, a plethora of videos. Okay, I used SerpentZA in the title to make it easier for his daughter to find this content on her own in case Winston Sterzel doesn't want to share it with her. She'll be able to just look it up on the internet. She knows his nickname, SerpentZA, right? So even if Winston Frederick Sterzel were to give up filming today and delete all of his content, I've already saved enough content to make at least a three-part series of Greatest Hits. Either way, Winston Sterzel can take comfort in the fact that this content will always be out there for his daughter to see what he's been up to all this time. Okay, you could help support the channel by subscribing, or leaving a comment down below in the comment section, or clicking on the Buy Me a Coffee or the WeChat QR codes on the screen right now. It's your support that keeps me going. Okay, before we get started, a quick shout out to the Bridge to China podcast YouTube channel. Click on the link in the description for some thought-provoking interviews, building a bridge between different cultures. Check it out from the link in the description below. I'm sure you're going to like it. On with the show!
For some of you, you may know that I was on TV a short while ago. Come to Shenzhen, you are a Shenzhen person or Shenzhen resident. This is something that has been condoned by the Chinese Communist Party and has been boosted out by the Chinese Communist Party because you do not allow anything in the Chinese news unless it is condoned by the state. And I've been used as an example for Shenzhen for many, many years, not just, this time around. I've been on TV in Shenzhen for years. You're not working for the government. You're not doing government propaganda. Why is the government backing you up, defending you, putting you on state media? Why? It's very simple. It's because you are doing exactly what they want. You are parroting their propaganda. However, I have also appeared a lot in the local newspapers. Both the English newspaper, in fact, I've appeared so often in the local English newspaper in Shenzhen that the editor, when I was invited to one of their events, called me aside and said, listen, I don't know what we can do because you've been in our newspaper more than any other foreigner ever. I can't stress this enough, that what they're doing is defending something that's illegal within their own borders and talking to people that are within their own borders doing something illegally. So I've been in that local English newspaper probably around 16 or 17 times over the years, which is ridiculous. But it's not only the English language newspaper. I have also been in the Chinese language newspapers as well. But when someone says they want to work for Chinese state media, that means that they are 100% on board with everything China does. The fact is, I have been in the local press so often in Shenzhen, and not only Shenzhen, in other publications around the country as well. I mean, that's because the kind of person that gets attracted to working for an authoritarian government like that is not a good person. No. The few times that I have interacted with the government, it's usually because I'm doing a job for them. Yeah.
The CGTN is only the CCP's propaganda arm.
Yes.
That's literally what it is. It's not you get an opinion piece or you get this. It has to be approved at the state level.
Yes, so
right?
It's a one-sided thing.
So when you say, go to the next slide. When you say you're going to, you're interested in working with the Chinese government to join CGTN, you're actually saying, I want to be a propaganda agent for the Chinese government.
Last week, I'm on the national TV as part of a big fluff piece for, you know, CCTV2, which is national, by the way, so everybody in the country sees it. Right, guys, we all know that when you hear somebody is part of the Chinese state media, you can judge what they're saying and see that it's going to be biased. It's going to probably be coming from a point of propaganda. It's probably going to be something that the government wants you to hear. I am really telling you what China is really like, the way I see it. I may have a slightly more positive outlook than most people, but that's just because I can see the good things that are here. You know, I can see the positive changes that have happened to my life since moving here.
25000人订阅，500万人次的点击，就是这样一段段自拍自说的视频，在几大门户网站上火热的转载。借此，人们认识了这个叫做 Winston Sturzel 的老外。
You're not allowed to be a YouTuber in China. YouTube is a blocked and forbidden website. Why are they defending people that are breaking the law?
Okay, wait a minute. You were in Shenzhen until near the end of 2018, Winston Frederick Sturzel, and doing YouTube as a full-time job. Does that mean that you were breaking the law? Speaking of breaking the law, check this out.
That's why owning a car here is so difficult as well. I parked on the street for like 2 minutes to run in to get a coffee.
And there's a cop just right there slapping tickets on it.
Yeah, 200 RMB fine, and like another time because I'd parked in, well, like on a white line or something, they gave me like 6 points off my license. And it's stupid fine as well, so I had to go in and sign it.
Okay, let me get this straight. You parked on a white line and got 6 points off your license. Most simple parking violations in China do not result in point deductions. There are like a couple of different exceptions that I know about. One is parking on what they call a gore point. I didn't know what that was before until I looked it up, but a gore point, it's a triangular or V-shaped island that divides the highway lane from an exit ramp. You know, or if you illegally park and you cause an accident or severe congestion, you could also lose points for that. Was it one of those, or, you know, maybe you can give us a little bit more details?
The possibility of getting yourself into legal troubles. Fines being sent in the mail, people scamming you, getting into accidents and putting yourself in debt because of the sort of compensation scam culture thing that goes on there. There's all sorts of things, and never mind just the frustration of driving in Chinese traffic.
Okay, I can see there in the clip that, you know, you're at the police station there, and I can see your car on the screen, on the police computer, you know, where you pay your fines. It looks more like you passed another vehicle on an exit ramp using the emergency lane. That is a 6-point violation plus a fine, but it's got nothing to do with parking. Am I right?
Another little scam here. If someone seems to be baiting you into breaking the road rules, crossing over a white line, going into the emergency lane, something like that, just ignore them.
So you did pass someone in the emergency lane. By the way, that's great advice there. You know, if somebody's baiting you into breaking the law, you know, just ignore them. Don't break the law because they gave you the bait. I'll have to write that down somewhere so I remember. But it's nice that you're accepting the responsibility. But wait, I see you have a little bit more to say.
It happened to me once that it was the most ridiculous thing. For a while, they had this incentive in China, in Shenzhen, where I was living, where if people took photos of people breaking the law, they would get like a commission, basically.
Yep.
So then if
people were making a living off of
People were making a living, and I fell victim to that because I was on the highway. I was actually going up to visit you in Huizhou, right? And there was a guy on one of the off-ramps, and he was going incredibly slow in the off-ramp, like maybe like 5 miles an hour. And, you know, it's dangerous. And I tried to get around him, and he would like swerve and block me. So the only way I could go around him was on the shoulder.
Yeah.
To get away from this guy, because I was like, is this guy drunk? What's happening here? It's dangerous. So as I went around him, he took a photo of me, sent it in, got his commission, and I got fined.
He was causing people to break the rules on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay, now I totally get it. It is 100% the fault of the guy taking the picture. But let's just take another quick look at that computer screen to see what really happened there. So, you're saying that the guy in the red car ahead of you caused you to pass him by going slowly, right? And then you had to pass him in the emergency lane because there's only one lane. Even if he swerved back and forth, you can't pass him. And he captured a picture of you doing it, right, in order to cash in. That must be one skilled photographer if he took that picture. That's all I'm going to say.
Reality is a bitch. Look at this guy. Okay, now this is what I hate. See, what has he done? He's decided he wants to turn to the left here. So what does he do? He stops in the middle of the road. Look at all the traffic and stuff coming, but look at it. I'm on a little island here. What the hell is he doing? That's like so dangerous. You got all these cars and trucks barreling past, and yet look what he does.
Wish him the best.
Oh, this is something I got to get on camera here. I love this. Let's see. UBG633M. This is great. See how he stops traffic instead of just going there and turning around.
Are you doxing him?
I'm doxing him.
Wow, so nice of you to demonstrate stopping on a gore point, that island between the highway and the ramp, right? That I mentioned earlier that you could lose points for. So now I gotta wonder, you know, if you get paid for filming yourself and the guy in the black car breaking the law. Of course, you'd both lose points off your license in that case, though. Plus, I mean, that's a bit of a dick move on your part, isn't it?
I'm just not into, I don't care about money.
Shut up. That's if I polled the audience right now, they would literally be like, I've lost so much respect for this liar.
But it's never been about me. It's always been about you guys and what I can provide for you guys. This is also why I don't do sponsorships and stuff on my channel, pretty simply because I basically just always want to be true to all of you guys.
I just wanted to get a quick word in from the sponsor. Everything is connected to the internet these days.
Remember, I don't do paid advertising on my channel, so I haven't been paid for any of this.
Deep within the corporate offices of a data broker, something is happening behind closed doors. I like to see people suffer unnecessarily that. China is to be portrayed as a high-tech, space-age, innovative powerhouse with a booming economy, powerful military, and futuristic cities. The problem is that in reality, China is none of these things. But China, just like every country on Earth, has huge issues when it comes to crime, murder, poverty, homelessness, bad governance, crappy infrastructure, police brutality, mass attacks, drug addiction, and every other modern-day ill that one can think of. The difference is that because of the size of the Chinese population, these issues are by an order of magnitude far bigger and far worse than anywhere else on Earth, except maybe India. The purpose of this video is I would like China to take a page out of India's book. China is a so-called developing country, which has for decades been receiving billions of dollars in foreign aid and special trade status in the World Trade Organization because it's just a poor developing country. I grew up in Africa, and so I know what it's like to grow up and live in the developing third world, which China and India are. More importantly, why does the rest of the world send financial aid and give China very special trade concessions under the guise of China being a developing country? So I'm going to start out by saying that China is a developing country. People are still raising out of poverty here. This fly. I'm going to kill you if you don't f*** off. We make fun of the CCP as much as we dislike the CCP. We've got nothing against the people of China, and it's actually one of the main reasons why we criticize the CCP so much is because we actually do care about Chinese people. And it's like when you've got scumbag, very low-class people, and you give them that authority over other scumbag low-class people, you're going to get this. The whole thing is that we have one common thing, and that is our love for China and the Chinese people, and also our disdain for what the CCP is getting away with.
Right.
And we attack this from a moral standpoint.
Yeah.
In China, this woman is using a public water fountain as a toilet.
By the way, I just thought I'd mention, the story of the obviously demented woman pooping in a shopping mall fountain dates back more than 7 years before Winston used it in his video to smear the CCP.
In China, this woman is using a public water fountain as a toilet.
Selbst wenn es wirklich dringend gewesen wäre, kann man dafür kaum Verständnis aufbringen, da sich eine Toilette in erreichbarer Nähe befindet.
And when I say the Communist Party of China, I mean the Communist Party of China. I do not mean Chinese people. For those morons out there who can't tell the difference between a government and people, right?
At night, this woman collects filthy fountain water to boil your street food in. These street vendors collect diseased water from public waterfalls and ponds to prepare your delicious tourist food in. I am allergic to lies.
Sure.
One thing that was very interesting is when I left China, because my hair was starting to get thin, right? It's starting to get bald. I left China, my hair grew back. But I mean, like, if there was a liar that lied about a lie,
Yes.
that lied on top of that lie,
Yeah.
it wouldn't even come close to that lie.
Anyway, can you recommend any books you've read on China? Lots. I like the Peter Hessler books. They're great.
I don't read books, so sorry.
Can't believe you admit that.
So let's talk about crime. Well, first, I'd like to go on the record and say that China is a very safe place to live. In fact, one of the safest places I've ever lived in. China's not just a low trust society. China is a zero trust society. It also shows you how trusting people are in China and how safe it is usually for young women to just travel by themselves, take taxis late at night, go to the shops late at night. It's something that I have to say and I have to give to China is that if my wife wants to go out to the shop at night, midnight, 10 p.m., midnight, whatever she wants to just pop down to the convenience store by herself, I won't feel at all worried about her safety. I'd be very happy to say, sure, go ahead. See you later, She can be staying out with friends for dinner late at night, come home late. I don't need to worry about her safety. That is something about China which I will definitely say is a massive, massive positive. All of the footage I use in my videos, I shot myself, all of the B-roll, all of the drone footage, everything. It's what I have a passion for. I absolutely love going out in China and just filming it so that you guys can see for yourself exactly what China is all about. You see, I could sit in a room and tell you my opinion and all that kind of thing, but I think it's always better for you to make up your own mind.
I don't know about you, but I could swear these days, all you do is sit in the room right in front of a green screen and give your opinion.
Sean Shatters says, Matt, no hats indoors. Look, are we outdoors? Look behind us, silly boy.
Yeah.
Look right behind us.
We are outdoors.
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
You said no hats indoors.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah. Hey man, can I go around the corner and suck your dick? And this is why the Chinese government spends so much time and effort censoring the news, stopping people from hearing about things that are bad around them because they do not want more of these attacks. I see multiple murders. And that's just because, I don't know, there just isn't that filter.
No.
On the Western internet, if you try to post someone being murdered on Facebook or something, it gets censored.
Yeah.
It gets removed.
Yeah.
Gets age restricted. In China, like WeChat, where you get a lot of the stuff, you're on WeChat groups and stuff, people just post horrific things all day, and it's kind of annoying. The problem with this stuff as well is that the news gets scrubbed very often. When these things happen, it's downplayed, it's hidden as much as possible. Like I said, because you do not want word of these things going out. They do not want the harmony and stability of society affected by these things that happen all the time. I don't like it when people teach hate.
No. Absolutely not.
I'm firmly against that.
I implore everyone to gently caress the like button. Yeah, please.
Please do. We'd love that. If you could click the like button. What is the correct term? Because everyone's always coming up with nonsense.
And I think people stopped doing that.
Really? Or smash it?
That was 10 years ago.
What do they start? They always start, it's your bro, or
it's your boy.
Sorry.
I don't think they do that anymore.
Yo, it's your boy. So, it would really help out the channel if you click like. If you're finding some value, you click subscribe, click that bell button. I can't stand it when people do that.
Time to seed the feed. I did say last week we were going to have an upgrade, but the song's not done. I'll tell you why.
Okay, can you explain?
First of all, please click the like button, because that's what gets our show onto everyone's feeds. You see, YouTube ain't been too kind to us these days. As you know, we have a hard time getting on people's feeds.
Yeah.
We have to take our seed and we have to seed the feed.
But knowing that it's actually a pig's penis really does tricks on your mind. And as you're chewing it, you feel it moving around your mouth and, over your tongue. And it's probably all the dicks I ever need to eat. we actually have different versions of the ball sack thing, which we're going to be unveiling maybe next time.
Yeah, we should actually prove it to everyone.
Yeah.
Because they probably don't believe that we have the original.
We have the original
Hollywood copy.
Yeah.
And I'm not joking
of
about
the demo
that.
of that thing.
The real thing.
Yes.
The problem is we probably won't be able to tell you what it is because it'll ruin the mystery. John Simmons, Ballsack source. Search YouTube for Ballsack commercial. You might say that, but you would be
actually wrong.
And we will never tell you where it comes from.
Yeah, because it's not that. We actually have the original VHS that this comes from.
I don't think anyone knows that.
We have the original.
I don't think anyone has the original.
Yeah, we
own it.
We have the original that was sent as like
Hollywood.
A demo tape to Hollywood. Yeah, from Hollywood. We have that. Believe it or not.
No joke. That's not even a joke.
It's not a joke.
And so you will never actually find it.
Laurel. Laurel. Laurel.
Do you remember the old Yanny Laurel debate? You know, while I don't think this is exactly like that, I think it is similar. You know, fun fact, back in the day when that debate was going on, I could only hear Yanny. I always thought nobody actually heard Laurel until editing this video. It was like the fourth time playing it during editing that I finally heard Laurel. I was shocked. Now I can only hear Laurel. Okay, so if you've watched this far into this video, I've added a little Easter egg down in the description down there. Don't tell anybody else about it. They didn't watch the whole video. It's a Yanny Laurel decoder where you can make slight adjustments to the audio recording to finally hear what the other half hears. Getting back to the video, the China show continues to use,
I don't think anyone knows that.
to this day. Spoiler alert, they're not actually saying ball sack. What a shocker, eh?
Because it's not that. We actually have the original VHS that this comes from.
Plus, the joke's on them. VHS was never used for submissions to Hollywood. Even back in 1990 when the song came out. 16mm or 35mm film was used those days to record. Then the recording was transferred to Betacam SP, Pneumatic or Type-C, reel-to-reel for submissions. So while they were somehow duped into believing that they have the original VHS, if you want to know what is really being said in that song, click on the link in the description below for ball sack recording. I'm not going to give it away in the video. Just click on the link and you'll see. While we're on the topic of VHS and VCRs, leave a comment below if you still own a VCR. If you don't and ever wondered where all the VCRs went, Winston Frederick Sturzel has them all.
Do you know how to set a clock on a VCR?
Yeah, but it's not universal.
Yeah, it's not, but it is difficult for,
It is.
like, if you just don't know what you're doing.
You Google it.
You know, I got a bunch of VCRs, and I set the clocks on them, but it's freaking annoying if there's a power failure or for some reason I unplug things.
Yeah, I know.
It's so annoying to go set them all because they're all different.
Contact Winston Frederick Sturzel if you need help setting your clock on your VCR.
I have a quick question. Can you drink and drive? Well, yes, I can drink and drive. I've been doing it all my life.
Beware of the drunken foreigner with a bike.
It's a very common theme in Winston's video library to see him sitting with his helmet and his keys on the table, drinking beer, his motorcycle often behind him. This next clip is an example, although it's a disturbing example.
谁的？就炸我。真的喝。
我喜欢喝啤酒。如果按这个东西，
我也喜欢喝啤酒啊。
你也喜欢吗？
酒量好吗？是吗？我喝过啤酒，我也喝过呀，我喝过很多次。我以前我哥哥说叫我把整瓶都喝掉，然后我不喝，我就喝了一半。哇！
是吗？哇，你喜欢喝啤酒什么啤酒？
是啊，白酒。
Just so you know, China has zero tolerance for drinking and driving. The laws make no distinction between cars and motorcycles. Even on the first offense, there's a penalty of 15 days jail time. There's fines and there's possible license suspension as well. Filming himself consuming alcohol, keys and helmet on the table, over and over and over again in so many videos, it demonstrates a clear disregard for Chinese law. Winston Frederick Sturzel never considered the lives or safety of others by frequently drinking and driving. On the contrary, Winston actually considers himself somewhat of an expert drunk driver.
Well,
You know, I could have chanced it. I could have driven my car. I probably wouldn't have been caught, especially since I'm very experienced at drunken driving and all that.
And as far as books are concerned, it's tough. I don't read, so I mean, I read. I can read, but you know, I don't read books. Oh, he just says it. It's not true because there's proof.
We don't do that.
No,
that's
so
not what we do.
Like people keep asking us to talk about what's going on in the Xinjiang with the
haven't
Muslim.
been there.
Yeah, we can't talk about it because we're not there.
Mm-hmm. We don't flip-flop because we believe in what we believe, and we're going to stick with that no matter who's in power, who's popular.
Yeah. So like we've got videos about Xinjiang, we got videos about stuff. You have to dig and really dig to try and find our stuff all the way down at the bottom.
So ignore the haters and all those guys who are going to leave comments to tell me to get out of China. No, I refuse. I'm not going anywhere. So take a hike. I'm staying. I love China and I love Chinese people.
China don't need you. Winston, fuck off. Fuck off.
Boom. Boom. Peace.